focused on me. So what do you need to change about that? You need to focus on yourself. How do we do that? We don't become blind to everything around us, but we have an incredible desire to help ourselves. You know how people say, may I help you? Ask yourself, may I help myself? Give yourself permission to help yourself. Because if you're always thinking about making the change, but never doing anything about it, you're never going to see that change.
Well, good morning, and it's finally Friday. Thank you so much for being with us. As you know, Friday challenges us to think about all week what we have been through. And some of us have been through a lot just in the past 7 days or 5 days. What have you been through and what are you going through? And how has it challenged you? That's the question when we think about facing our challenges and being able to rise above all the things that we have faced. This week, in meeting with clients who face challenges, who are going through things, that is a wall to climb. You are brave, braver than you think it to be. The fact that you've taken one step to be able to face whatever it is that you are going through. My, look at you grow. Look at you take your wings and fly them. I'd like to say how brave you are. Sometimes life challenges us where we don't see how brave we've been. You meet people, you know people, even the strangers that you have yet to meet and come to know have faced beautiful challenges. Why do I say beautiful? Because it doesn't feel like that when you're facing it, right? Life does not feel that way when you are facing your challenges. Might I remind you that you are worth every challenge that you've ever had to face. What do you know about yourself? What have you discovered about yourself as you have faced challenges? We're going to take a small break, and I'm going to give you time to be able to write that as I put you on pause just for a second. Be right back. back, and I thank you so much for waiting. As you see, my co-host is feeling a little bit under the weather, and I hope that Trish, you get to feeling well soon. We are going to talk about these things that really help us. What are some of your challenges? Some of the challenges, excuse me, that we're going to discuss today affects you or someone that you know. And I gotta be quite honest as we are facing our challenges. People just don't rightly come out and tell you what they're facing. And for all of those who are dealing with something, we say bravo that you have come through. And if you still feel like you're not coming through, we want you to be able to talk about it. We want you to be able to share it with someone that you can really talk to or feel like you can go to. Here are some of the things that challenge people today. Just being a survivor of something. How many of you are a survivor of something? Now, when you think about surviving something, maybe you've survived a car accident, plane accident, train, whatever that might be, and you've lived to tell about it. Do you realize that through your story and surviving even a loss of someone or something, that you have indeed inspired someone? I was in conversation with a dear friend of mine who I've known for many, many years. And to hear her voice, although she had been a victim of the California fires, particularly Altadena fire, because that's my hometown, I was inspired by her faith and her ability to be able to say, let's get out with our lives. And she began to say, those are just buildings. I was so thankful, she said, that we got out with our lives, with everything devastated and gone. What do we learn from those things? What can we say? You know, we are at the pit of our stomachs and we feel so bad that our loved ones go through that, or that someone we don't know has experienced being a survivor of something or someone. They inspire us. We are going to be talking, as you see, we've talked about addiction. People are addicted to not only chemical things, but other things. There's love addiction, sexual addiction, alcohol abuse. Do you know any people like that? If not, yourself having experienced that? Can we challenge ourselves to be people that come out on the other end fighting and having the strength of a lion? It's not easy, but it's doable. And that's why Vibe Talk has been around as long as it has been around. You know, Vibe Talk has not only been about challenges, but it's also been about people who have succeeded. We've had interviews with people who, despite what they were facing, they ended up being lions of the heart because they were determined to win. To win whatever challenge that they faced. And if you don't believe me, just go to our YouTube page and listen to our callers. We talk about family. You know, our teens are going through tremendous peer pressure. Fentanyl has been in the vocabulary of so many of our young ones. More so our young ones than a lot of older ones. And so what these teens are experiencing because of this drug, loss of life, close to death, and leaving us so young. I think about the parents who are challenged with this kind of loss. And if you were here with us last year, you got the episode of our podcast on fentanyl. Our teens are facing so much. The peer pressure that our teen faces is scary. Because they want to be like so and so. They don't want to be different. And if we can put ourselves in their shoes, we completely understand. But parents, you must be aware of what they're facing. We're going to be talking about that in our group sessions. Today starts our group sessions with many, many topics that I think you will want to hear. Many people ask, what do I do with my teenagers? I don't know how to reach them anymore. They won't talk to me. They stay shut up in their rooms. I don't know who they're online talking to. But parents, teachers, workmates, friends, we must stay alert to the times that we live in. Our children face so much. They want friends. And oftentimes their friends are not truly their friends. Their friends are inexperienced. They want to be just like them. And one wrong move could change their lives forever. I met a young girl that was in a store, and I decided to ask her about the hanging on the wall that was of missing people. This particular missing persons information had a bunch of teenagers that were missing. And I asked her a question, and I said to her, why do you think those young people are missing? Or do you think that everybody is a runaway here? You know, we are social media people. We go to social media. Social media is a really good thing if you use it right. Keeps us alert. But our teens get lost in it. They can access anyone, anywhere, at any time. How many times have there been fake accounts where people get online and they appear to be other youths when in fact they are not? The exposure and danger of something that could be used in the right way has affected our teens. Teens going through so much. They want their space, but as parents, we must keep alert as to who their friends are, who we drop them off to, and what is on their minds. We're going to be talking about fatherhood, the challenges of fathers. I don't know if you guys are following the Hurt story, HURTT. They're twin boys. The father has lost custody of these children. We don't know both sides of the story, but what we do know is that father was really an example to his children. He's fighting to get them back. The mother has accused him of exploiting the children. I didn't see it that way, but if you look in the story, you'll know that that father took care of those children. So he has now made an appeal to get his children back. How many people do you know that are truly good fathers? And the court system, for whatever reason, takes those children out of the home. Sometimes we look at the justice system, and even though they've hurt both sides, they remain unjust. What a world we live in. Fatherhood. Fathers are just as important as mothers are. There are fathers that I know of that do more good for those children. And I always say both mother and father should be part of a child's life. If the father has custody of the children, do you think that the child has a right to see their mother, or the mother has a right to see that child? Or flipping the switch, if she has custodial custody, that means that she is the one that's raising him and they live with her, the child lives with her. Do they have a right to see their father? What do you all think? These are the things that are going to be in our group discussion. Because, see, these are challenges. We're also going to be challenging having interactive conversation. Interactive conversation challenges us to be able to bring forth our thoughts. Not just solely based on one thought, but everyone in the room will have a chance to interact in conversation or comments. When people start to talk to you about how they feel, we listen. We listen without debating. There's a class for that. That I actually had a class that I took for debates. And you come in and one person opposes another. That's not going to be so in these groups. We're going to listen intently. You will have a choice of being able to write in your comments how you feel and how you think without opposing what someone else is thinking. That's why it's interactive conversation. Everyone will join in. Challenges. We're challenged much of the time to cope with the things that we are truly being faced with. So we have to learn to cope and manage. What is it to cope? How do we manage what challenges us on a daily basis? See, when you become a life coach and you listen to other people, you don't tell them what to do, but you show them ways. Telling and showing are two different things. And they begin to figure out, and I am so proud of any of you that have mastered the sessions. And some of you really have done that. If you've been with us for any length of time, then you already know how Vibe Talk, facing the lion, facing your challenges, goes. Strategies, ways to do something. I don't tell you, you discover it. I had one person who is a client say that they love the way that the whiteboards, they get to do that. Everyone gets to do that because they can see what they need to do. It becomes like a puzzle that piece by piece, by you thinking about your challenges, whatever it will be for that week, you get to see by discovering what you've written. The experiences for the last 5 years have been, oh boy, unforgettable, to say the least. You will experience survival stories. You will experience hearing other people's stories and how they survived, how they challenged themselves to do it each and every day, again and again. That should inspire you. People come in and they want to heal. I've had so many people who have come in just to say, I want to heal. I need to heal. Sound familiar? The Healing Center has been one of great necessity. Anybody can come in. Anyone is welcomed to do so. From children accompanied by their parents to grown folks in their prime of life. Men, woman, child, family, couples. individually, together, can start to heal. That is, if you want to. We must not forget the parents. We leave no one out. No stone unturned, you parents. Oh boy. From one parent to the other, the things that we can relate to, the things that we can say, the things that we have had to deal with, and learning new things, because every family has a generation. My kids are 7 years apart, so there has been a generation gap. What you learned in the firstborn's life, you'll learn something new in the secondborn, and on and on. How do we face it today? Coming to the group classes that start today at 10 a.m. Los Angeles time. All you have to do is get on our Facebook Live, just like you are now. Facebook.com/vibe, VIBE, lowercase, dash talk. That's simple. Because we're going to be talking about what we've done thus far. Parenting is a challenge all in itself. You know, we have children, parents are newborn, parents of teens, parents of young adults. We want every parent to find out about Vibe Talk Facing the Lion. Children, school-age children, dealing with classroom settings, bullying, challenge with so much going on in the school today, it's almost scary to send your child to school. And many parents prefer to homeschool. How are you doing with that? And then there are those who are recovering from something. How many of us have had to recover from surgery? That could be traumatic. But then there's yet still some of us who are recovering from tragedy. Recovery. Alcoholism. They're fighting to survive. Many people are abused, if not physically, verbally, emotionally, mentally, neglected, and they're just trying to get through life. We're even dealing with post-traumatic stress. Knowing people who have dealt with post-traumatic stress, all of this we have studied. All of this we want to bring to you and bring others who may be similar in their symptoms but have different experiences. It's like having a headache. But maybe we're not having a headache from the same thing. Sometimes headaches are caused from sinus. Sometimes headaches are caused from stress. And that's what this group is going to do. Be able to help you understand how you can get through it. Post-traumatic stress. When you feel yourself tightening up because something is there that is making you feel what you feel. Stress. If I ask you how many of you have been challenged with stress, every single hand would be up. Stress is affecting even the babies among us. When a baby is stressed, can you hear their call? When a child has been cyberbullied or even bullied in person at school, can you hear their stress? When a husband or a wife or a man or a woman comes home from work, did you hear and see the stress? See, we need to know how to challenge that. Trauma. A few weeks ago, we had a podcast, and I said in that podcast, every person living has been dealing with trauma. Every person. There's not one person that has not had trauma. And we're going to prove it as a fact. Sometimes you're traumatized and you don't even realize it. And trauma can come at any time. It's a sensory to you. And more of anything, it alerts you. Anything that you've been through that has an injury, anything that you've experienced that has hurt you emotionally, anything that has caused you mental anguish and agony, that's trauma. Triggers. You know those alarms. As if there were smoke in the house and your alarm is triggered by the signal of smoke. Our brains are like that. You know, I always tell people I'm triggered by barking dogs. And when I hear a barking dog, it alarms me. I don't know where that dog is sometime, but I hear it, and it heightens my sense of awareness to say, uh-oh. You see why that is because I have been bitten by a dog. So when I hear a dog, it automatically sends off my alerts. Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast is strictly all about emotional and mental health discussions. We are not a clinic. But our healing center is for you to come in and talk out whatever is bothering you. We have workshops. We have groups. And I'm enforcing the groups because I know that the group talk is very vital. Because you must know that you are not alone. Even though you may feel like you're alone, people can provide for you inspiration, hope, and determination. Because as you look at yourself and you find out, wow, I have been going through so many challenges, but that person, those people over there, wow, they got through. They became these beautiful butterflies that have lion-like strength. And it's been a struggle. Some of the things we forgot to add, but I do want to say depression falls under this category. And no, they won't be in order. Each week that you come, starting today it will be on virtual video. So we're inviting as many people that will come. Why are we doing this? Because the Healing Center is all about your wellness. You're getting well, you're being well. And even though you may be challenged to do all of that, thus and so forth, you will begin to understand and discover more about yourself. Just keep coming. You know, Finding Nemo taught us something. And I love Dory. When Dory would say, just keep swimming. I want you to be able to just keep coming. Some days are going to be greater than others. Some days it's going to look like a big messy pool. But I promise you, it will be like the most beautiful puzzle pieces that you've ever been able to put together, because now you will learn the management of the challenge and you'll be able to learn to cope. And most of all, you'll be able to see yourself. We even deal with the mother and pregnancy, postpartum. These are all things that somebody's been through. You will be able to hear stories, real life stories of mothers. Some are going to make you cringe in your very seat, while others you're going to be on their winning team and cheer them on. And that's how we're introducing today's Group 1. Today is March 28th, Friday, Facing the Lion Challenge, and we present to you Group 1 sessions. I don't know if you all know it, but we started out as a group discussion. And we're going back to group, but we're going back to group as a form discussion. I want it to be safe. I want you to respect the way that others feel. I don't want you to answer their questions. It is a guided session by myself. Don't answer their questions, but make the questions so that me or my co-host, or me and my co-host, can answer. Respect people, give them their space, because everybody might not feel as comfortable as you do. Just remember that. And when you come on, you're going to be able to comment. You're going to be able to call in. And that call-in number, okay, for you to call in is 1-800, okay, or 1-888-721-9260. That's for all of you who listen to Vibe Talk around the world. It's a direct connect. And you can even call in during the group if we are on video. We do have a walk-in office, but our very first group is going to be on video. What time does it start? 10:30 a.m. will be our group time every Friday from this point on. You don't have to enroll. You just come. And we will let you know every week where we are. Don't miss it. Because we will have these discussions throughout the week. And I think you're going to really enjoy this. We also want to have for you lunch. It will be over at 12:30. So if you want to stay for lunch, you can do that. And if you want to donate, you can donate to the cause we care for, and that is for our GoFundMe. We will add that in this podcast. If you want to donate gift certificates, because we want to make a nice experience. And for you that may not get out of the house too much, it's going to be your opportunity to socialize and get to meet people and build friendships. But we wanted to bring to light that group session number 1 starts today. And all you have to do is click on our Facebook page at vibe-talk. Everyone's invited. So send your links, because people may really want to listen. Why? Because there's so many challenges. From these challenges arise other challenges, some that only you know of. And they're going to build discussions from those discussions. I cannot wait to start the session in just a little bit. So I say to you, will you challenge yourself to perhaps go through? That's me opening my soda. Yes, this early in the morning. So we want you to be able to share it with others. When you come, we're going to make sure that there's refreshments there. And as I said, there will be a chance for you to donate. You can be anonymous. You can bring things if you want to. But we do have a GoFundMe for this. And the reason we have that is because we realize that as a free program, things do cost. It doesn't cost you any money to come. But we want you to please remember the donations. Your willing donations help when you can. And it doesn't always have to be money. It can be, like I said, gift cards or something that you bring that contributes. So that's how my co-host Trisha and I envision the group sessions. And I'm a person, wherever you go, I like to feed people. So if you feel like you have to go early, you just get up and leave. But there will be refreshments. There will be things so that you can eat and stay. And it's going to happen every Friday. And we have some other announcements, but you'll have to wait till 10:30 Los Angeles time for that. I want to say thank you for all of you who have supported Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. Because of you, we thought, why give them? No, we want to give them more. Why just keep it as a podcast? But we can advance and we can help people. And to think, we started out at one person. One person we started out. And if I could help one person, I would be okay with that. But that one person turned out to be hundreds of you all over the United States map. You don't believe me? Go check out our website. So we want as many of you at 10 o'clock to start coming on. I'm asking that everyone comes early because that's your time to be able to talk. That's your time to interact with one another. 10:30 is the time clock. And we'll last 1 hour to 45 minutes. It's free. And send out the invite. And it will be on our Vibe Talk page. I want to thank everyone for joining us this week. We've had some pretty heart-to-heart discussions. I can't wait to meet you all at 10 o'clock. It's free. You don't have to pay to link on. And we will talk and have questions. You have any questions, we'd answer them. You want to call in live, just call in live. You don't have to ask. We want to say thank you to my amazing co-host for dealing with me and putting up with me, because my ideas come quickly, and as they come, I tell her them, and sometimes I take forever to send my idea to her. Thank you for being so amazing, Trish, and we do hope you feel better. All of you contribute in such a beautiful way. We're going to talk about our new listening center. Oh my! What a beautiful thing. So we want to keep that going. When it's a free program, guys, we want you to take advantage of it. We want you to be able to say, wow, will you look at this? If you're not in the community, that's okay. We still love you and we still want you to be linked in, because you're just as much a part of us as anyone who walks through the Healing Center's doors. You're just as much a part of us as you've listened all these years to Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you at 10 o'clock right back here. And please start getting on at 10 o'clock. Thank you so much.
So what do you need to change about that? You need to focus on yourself. How do we do that? We don't become blind to everything around us, but we have an incredible desire to help ourselves. You know how people say, may I help you? Ask yourself, may I help myself? Give yourself permission to help yourself. Because if you're always thinking about making